Okay. Hi, my name is Priya Soja, and I worked on a shipping priority queue for the packages for the drone delivery system. It's important because if we want to implement this into the real world and have a business model, having expedited shipping and no rush shipping would be good for different payments for deliveries, and it's just a good way to make money. And I use the state design pattern so I could just interchange any of the priorities in the queue, and it just works better that way.
Okay, awesome. And while I'm talking, Bruce is going to start demonstrating. I'm Carson. I worked on the severe weather edition. As you can see, the wind is changing on the left, it notifies, and the damage to the drones because of the severe weather. It's important because it adds realism to the simulation with wind affecting the drones and the durability of the drones. And the design patterns I used were singleton for the weather system, keeping wind consistent across the entire simulation, and decorator to update the drone's functionality without changing the original code.
My name is Evan. I worked on the data collection manager extension. Um, it collects data of the entities throughout the runtime of the simulation. It logs and it will also export it to a CSV format. The design pattern I used was the singleton, ensuring there's only one global single instance that will be used within the simulation, ensuring there are no conflicts and making sure that the logs are consistent and in one place. This is important because those metrics are useful for debugging in later analysis. From time to time, you'll see on the left that the data collection manager is requested. Um, Showing that is either being logged or some instance is being requested. At the end, I will show the CSV file.
So
And
you guys can,
as the
oh,
drones move, you can see they aren't moving directly to the package because of the inherent displacement due to the wind vector.
and as you guys were seeing while Carson and Evan were talking, I set up the packages, and you can see that if you change the expedited state down to standard, it would go to the bottom of the list, and you can see that it's properly going to every single package that it's set to. And then after this package, expedited one that I changed to standard, I'll just have this new expedited package right here, and it should go to that one before it goes to this expedited one to standard that I changed. And as Carson was mentioning, you can see the wind going. And also, the ATC system is running in the background as well, where the planes are getting close to each other, but they're never hitting each other because they're being moved apart.
Also, occasionally the wind will damage the drones, and you can see the notifier that the drone's durability and speed are updated.
So after clicking the download button, the browser will then download the CSV file of the simulation. As you can see, there are some key metrics there, such as the entity, the name, the ID, as well as distance traveled, packages delivered, and speed and durability, which all are important metrics that could be used for analysis and debugging.
Okay, I'm Aiden. This is my extension for the drone delivery system project. I chose the air traffic control system. And pretty much what it does is it just ensures that there is safe and collision free flight for all of the flying entities within the simulation. And there are kind of three main things that this system does. First of all, it tracks the positions of all the flying entities that are registered. It enforces a 50 unit separation distance, and lastly, it reroutes entities if needed. So yeah, obviously, this is important because in a real world setting, there needs to be a way to reroute flying entities. If planes, drones are flying at the same level, they're going to crash if they're not rerouted. And so that's why it's important. And so for this extension, I used the singleton pattern and the decorator pattern. And so going over the singleton pattern first, there should only ever be one instance of the air traffic control system in order to avoid duplication and just ensure that the traffic management is consistent. And so the singleton in the code is enforced right here in the air traffic control class with this get instance method. That's how the singleton is enforced. And for the decorator pattern, the flying entity decorator class right here is used to wrap all of the flying entities. And what it does is it registers the entity and then it monitors it. And for example, you can see in the airplane factory class, when an airplane is created, airplane factory, the flying entity decorator is right here. Wraps the entity when it's created and makes sure that the system is tracking, in this case, the airplane. And so using this pattern, we can add air traffic control features without modifying any of the core logic for the actual entity classes. And so we can do a quick demo of the air traffic control system. So we can load it and let's zoom out. These are all of the planes in the system. And there's also a helicopter here, but the planes were used for testing purposes. And you can see that right here, the planes rerouted when they came close to each other. Let's see if there's